Hello and welcome to Nafta Review. I'm your host, Buddy 1927. As you can see, we are actually going to be talking about the French line this time, and we are going to be talking about the ARL 44, which is a Tier 6 heavy in the French line. There's a little secret I want to show to y'all. If you can see this little cylinder here, this is a secret weapon that all French tanks have. Inside the commander's hatch, there's a button. As soon as he sees the enemy, a white flag pops out of the cylinder and raises up the antenna, and he surrenders. No, I'm just joking. That is the antenna for the ARL. I did do a little research on this tank on Wikipedia, and I got a picture to show y'all. This is the actual ARL 44. The ARL 44 was actually developed in France during World War II, while Germany occupied France. So not all the French people surrendered. They still tried to develop weapons to help fight the resistance and try to cause damage to the occupation while Germany occupied them. So there was, unfortunately, this tank finally came into production just after World War II ended. They produced a total of 6 of these tanks. So this is a little history on the ARL. Now, this tank is not a bad tank, and we're going to go down the tech tree next. To get to it, you gotta go down the French line. Start off with the FT to the D1 to the D2 to the B1, then to the BDR G1B. I'm going to warn you all right now. This tank is the worst tank in the world of tanks. I'm telling you. I had the hardest time grinding through this. I almost gave up. Crush, our commander in NAFTA, he's going through the line, and he kept on trying to talk me through. Yeah, push through, push through. It gets better. Well, I did the BDR, and I tell you what, those gift tanks that World of Tanks gives out during anniversaries and different celebrations that nobody likes, but hey, you get a free garage slot out of it. And they do no very little to none damage. It's just basically a toy that you want to play with. Well, I hate to tell you this, guys. Those tanks are actually better than this BDR. I hated this BDR. Every shot I took on it was bounce, ricochet, and I was hitting them where I would hit them with a normal tank, and it should have penetrated. It was the worst experience I ever went through, but I'm glad I decided to grind through it, and I have come up to the ARL 44. The ARL 44 compared to the BDR is night and day, gentlemen. Once you get to the second gun, it actually starts doing some damage. And let's take a look at the specs, not the specs, but the tree on the ARL. As you can see, I have researched the Tier 6 gun. You start off with the Tier 4 gun, 76 millimeters, and this gun really doesn't do it. And I thought when I first started playing the ARL, I thought, oh great, another BDR. Well, it's not. Once you get to this Tier 6 gun, you actually start doing some damage. And I've researched the turret, but since I'm grinding this tank, I'm actually, all of my research points now are going to be going towards AMX4 M445. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm currently trying to grind through this line to get to the Tier 10. Now, if I decide to keep this tank, I will come back and research these guns right here. But my main goal right now is to get to the AMX M445, which is the next tier. Go back to the tech tree real quick. The reason why I'm grinding down this line, and I'm grinding down several lines right now. Reason why I'm grinding down the French heavy line is once you get to Tier 8 in the French heavy line, they become autoloaders. All these all three of these tanks have autoloaders. So this is the reason why I'm grinding down there. I like to try. I have on my Japanese tier 7 has an autoloader 3 rounds, and I kind of enjoy it. So I'm going to see what I can do and see how these tanks are. These three heavy tanks do in actual battle. So we'll go back to the tank right now, and what I'm going to do next, we're going to be talking about the hull and the turret, the armor on them. I'm going to bring up my tank inspector and pull it up. As you can see, we have my tank inspector here, the view of it. Red is good, yellow's okay, green's bad, blue's bad. As you can see, the front hull on this thing has 120 millimeters of armor. One important thing about this tank is the slope of this armor. So it has 120, and at a 30-degree angle, right now my armor's at 150 right here. So that's good. And the front turret here has 100 millimeters of armor. Now you get on the side, it gets a little worse. So you definitely got to protect your side on this. On the side hull, you have 50 millimeters of armor. Okay. Side hull of the turret, though, you have 60 millimeters of armor. So it's not too bad, but you always want, when you're fighting this tank, you want to be head on to your enemy. You don't want your side to be shown. On the rear of this tank, rear tank here has 50 millimeters of armor also, and 60 on the turret itself. So overall, you want to try to fight this tank head on. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why I'm thinking about keeping this tank. In the clip that you'll see, you actually see this tank actually go up against a KV-1S, which is the tier 6 Russian heavy tank. And we traded shots back and forth, and this tank actually took it out. The other tank was ricocheting off of me. Did very little damage to me, and you'll see that in the clip. So next we'll continue our review of this tank. Okay, next we're going to go over the specs of the tank. I highlighted these and enlarged it a little bit. We start off with 820 hit points on this tank. The tank actual weight is 47.15 tons to 50.5 tons is the weight load on this tank. The engine power has 775 horsepower. Speed limit on this thing, max speed on this tank is 37 kilometers per hour. That's actually pretty fast for a heavy tank. The transfer speed is 20 degrees per second, which isn't that bad. If you get your driver to learn clutch braking, it will actually turn a little bit faster. We've already gone through the hull and the turret hull armors. Standard shell damage is 180 to 300, which isn't too bad. Penetration is 101 to 169 millimeters, which isn't that bad. Rate of fire, it also depends on which guns that you have, but the rate of fire is 6.98, which is roughly 7 rounds per minute. The turret traverse speed is 22, so the turret turns pretty quick, a little bit faster than the tracks turn. The view range on this thing is 330 meters, and the single range is 400. Next, what we're going to be talking about is the current gun I have on this, which is the tier 6 gun on it. Let me blow it up for you a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this is the gun is a 90 millimeter DCA 30. It's available. It's the same gun that is the top gun on the BDR, but for some reason it actually performs better on the ARL than the BDR, and I don't know why, but it is the first gun for the AMX M4 too. So the caliber on this is 90 millimeters. Rate of fire on it is roughly 7 rounds per minute. Damage on this thing is 135, 175, and 45. I'm sorry, that was penetration. Average damage on this thing is 240, 240, and 320. Accuracy on this gun sucks. It's a .4, but in the clip, I actually did pretty good. One thing that you gotta realize and that you gotta remember when you are shooting at the enemy, make sure your reticle actually closes all the way down before you fire that shot, because that way it makes the gun a little bit more accurate when you shoot. Aiming time on this is 2.3 seconds. Of course, the weight on this is 2050, and that's about it for the gun. It does take AP shells, high explosive shells, and armor piercing shells. So let's take a look at the clip next, and let me see what you think about this tank. Okay, we're on the Rudenberg map. We're actually in a tier 6 battle, and somehow I came up on the leaderboard. I don't know how the hell that happened. We have 57% chance to win according to XVM. As we get ready, I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. There we go. Now we're rolling. As we're going into this battle, we're rolling down. This is the encounter map for Rudenberg, and I call this actually Tank Alley is what we're going down. As you can see, I'm averaging between 30 and 35 kilometers per hour, mainly due to the roughness of the road. So it says 37 miles an hour. That's on a smooth road with no obstructions, and you can actually do it. Okay, we're coming around the corner. Okay, hey, nobody's heading towards the cap on the other team. Everybody's out there in the middle. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting game. Pull out a little bit, line up on one target. Do some damage to him. 227. Got another target, M4. I did hit him, but it was a ricochet shot. Okay, try to get that other M4, and we got him. Let's see if I can reload quick enough. I'm gonna try. Oh no, somebody already took out that TD. And because everybody's in the middle of the map, I'm gonna see if I can sneak up behind them. Let's go ahead and roll out a little bit. Okay. I got a Crusader to my right. See if I can knock him out. He's a light tank. Oh, somebody got him. And while we're doing this map, I'm actually going to be pointing out a few things to you on this map. Okay, this is mainly for the NAFTA clan. Okay, one thing I want to point out to you. I'm coming around the corner. You can see my tank is angled different from the corner. And you can see my gun is actually ahead of my tracks. To the left ahead of my tracks. So when I come around that corner, my gun's already pointing down the street. Okay, go back. You can see right here my tank is angled. Because my tank was angled, his shot actually ricocheted off my armor. And because he's head on to my gun, I penetrated him. Loading up, waiting for the loader to reload. He's trying to do that little maneuver. He bounced off me because I was angled. I got him, kill number 2. That's why when you go around the corner, you don't want to go straight, show your side. You want to angle your tank so you can actually get ricochet shots off. Okay, we come around the corner again. As you can see, I'm angling my tank. My gun is ahead of my thing. Got KV-1S in front of me, ricocheted off of him. Now you notice I just moved up a little bit. I shot him. And you can see I'm angled at him a little bit.
We didn't penetrate their...
Okay. Now I'll stop the video. As you can see, that shot actually penetrated me. Why? Because I had too much of an angle and was showing too much of my side. So his shot actually penetrated me. But you can see what I do next to
ammo, but at least it didn't explode.
Compensate for that. Waiting, trying to get a good angle on him. I shoot, because I have a quick reload. You can see I'm re-angling my tank now. Now he's ricocheting off of me. Go back into the gunner's viewpoint. You can see he did 52% damage to me, and I've done probably about 75. Boom, now knocked him down to 25. He's now one-shotable, and he ricocheted again, because I have my tank angled. And because I have a quicker reload, he's dead, I'm still alive. Now we're going down, see if we can actually get behind a couple of these tanks. Now something funny happened while I was going down the road here, and I just completely became blind. I was the horse with the blinders on. And I'll show you why here as soon as we turn this corner. As we turn the corner, okay, you have two targets. One very far away, which is the one I'm lining up on. And if you look in the lower right hand corner, there's another target. I never noticed that tank in the lower left hand corner until my reticle actually happened to come across, and I'll show you. I shoot, I didn't let my reticle come all the way down, and I missed. I got another tank backing up into my target. All three of these tanks have not spotted me at all. Okay, loaded. Okay, and I'm trying to line up. Okay, trying to get a better angle. Then stop. Right there is when I finally noticed that tank. When it turned red, I finally noticed the tank was there. I was blindsided. I had my blinders on. I was worrying about the tanks in front of me, and that's the tank I completely overlooked. And if he would have turned around, he would have nailed me hard. Okay, that's 15. So we're going to stop here. As you can see, we have a victory out of this. Received 35,547 credits, 2,640 research points, received the sniper medal, fired 14 shots, hit 13 times for a 92.88% hit ratio. We damaged 6 tanks, killing 5 of them. And we'll go on to the next set of stats. Okay, we have the team stats up. As you can see, I was on top of the leaderboard as I was at the beginning. I ended up on top. Did 1,989 damage, 5 kills on that. Not bad for a tier 6 battle. As you can see, the detailed report, I fired a total of 14 shots, 13 direct hits, 10 penetrations. Did a total of 1,989 damage. Now I received 9 shots, only 1 penetration. Received a total of 1,810 damage. So I actually did more damage than I received, which improves my damage to hit ratio a lot. After repairs and ammunition resupply, I received 29,444 credits. Not bad for a tier 6 battle. I received a total of 1,320 Research credits, 66 free experience. Because it was time to, I received a total of 2,640 research points and 132 free experience. I hope you liked this review of the ARL 44. I hope it was informative, and I hope you decide to go down this line and maybe go further down the line. If you like the NAFTA review, please like us on YouTube. And that's it for the day. Save some tanks there for me.